Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Series 1, Episode 6 of the City of Film Show. My name is Gray McMorrow. Alongside with me today is Ryan Heinrichs.
Hello.
And Kevin Fraser.
Hey.
It's the last episode in the series, and by the sounds of it, I think we're all returning for Series 2 next year sometime. Guys, are you up for it?
My contract has been renewed.
Kevin?
Me too.
Okay. Now, if we're going to do a Series 2 next year, just off the top of my head, what changes should we be making? Because right now people are listening, they're thinking, oh, Series 2, that's good, except they probably want to see something change. What would you guys change about it? I mean, most of the series was absolute twaddle, let's be honest, but if we want people to return, they need a hook. What's that hook? Like we had the very popular City Strip contest, which we have a winner for later. But next year, Series 2, new theme song. Should we do video so they can see us?
God, no.
What else could we do? Have 7 episodes instead of 6?
We could read hate mail on the air.
Well, speaking of, throughout the series here, we've been reading off some listener email, all of which has been pretty positive. Now, not everyone was a fan of the show. I've been keeping a few of these emails for the final episode here.
Excellent.
So we had a lot of listener response, so we thank everybody for messages and such, feedback. But surprisingly, not all of it was supportive. Here we go. Who the f*** are you guys? And why did I just and why did I just waste 16 minutes of my life? Kirk.
Can we have him on our show? We'll have a segment next season.
Yeah, I think he speaks a lot of sense here. Well, Kirk, I bet he was probably listening to one of our shorter episodes. So if he tunes into this bad boy, it's probably running about 30 minutes. I think he'd like it.
Maybe he can waste 30 minutes of his life this time instead of 16.
Jamie emails, I could have pulled a better podcast out of my... Oh, well, that's unprofessional. Well, let's get right into it, I guess, the contest. Kevin, do you want to go over one last time what this contest was, and then we can decide who wins?
All right, exciting. So what we've been doing, if you haven't been listening to the past podcasts, we've been having a contest in which you send in a keyword, which we mention on the podcast, and if you win, you get a chance to be drawn in a city strip, which is very exciting. So let's draw a name.
Well, I've taken the liberty, 5 minutes before we started recording, to put all the names in a little coffee mug here. So, Ryan, drum roll.
That
was just you talking.
You could dub over that with a real drum roll.
I will. I'll put a real one in there so it doesn't embarrass you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, here we go. And the winner is Series 1 contest winner. Oh, we got a name. And the name is Dustin Spence.
Yay! Woo!
Now, that name is familiar to me because he actually emailed in every keyword. And he's actually contributed to, later in the show, we'll have the Guess Who's Coming to Dinner segment, and he sent in his 5 people. So,
excellent.
Dustin, congratulations. One. So how are we going to draw him into a comic? I guess, Dustin, you're going to have to send us a picture of some kind.
Kevin will study your every curve.
Yep. And then we'll put you in the comic, and then we'll show everybody what you've won. Congratulations. Since this episode's getting close to Halloween, Kevin actually thought it would be a good idea. I don't agree with it, but he said it was a good idea that we talk about some of our favorite Halloween movie icons. Do you guys watch? Do you guys like? I know around Christmas time I watch a lot of Christmas movies. Do you guys do the same at Halloween?
I think I cover 1 or 2. I don't go into a big binge of horror movies, but
yeah, me neither. Just 1 or 2.
I don't think there's any real horror movies coming out this Halloween, is there? Usually we have the Saw franchise. And
there's a 3rd Paranormal Activity, isn't there?
Oh, yeah, that.
Not that I'm going to watch it or anything, but...
the classics, of course, Freddy, Jason. What are they going to do now? Because Freddy had a reboot. Jason had a reboot. Both kind of, they did okay. do they warrant continuing these reboots, or what do you think they're going to do? Like, reboot it again?
Wasn't there like a rumor a few years ago after Freddy vs. Jason came out, they were going to do like Freddy vs. Jason versus Mike Myers?
Yeah.
And also, like, at the same time, or even before that, there was a Freddy versus Jason versus Ash from Evil Dead, which I think they made a comic about it, but...
Yeah, there was a comic.
So that would, to me, that would be more like a comedy almost.
Mm-hmm.
Ash, really?
Yeah. I think, yeah, if those two guys are going to continue, I don't know. It's either got to be... I would like to see another Freddy vs. Jason. Leprechaun. Who's into that?
I've never seen any of the Leprechauns.
Oh,
I saw one with a pogo stick.
Pogo stick. I don't remember which one that was. I know the first Leprechaun had Jennifer Aniston in like her first role in a movie. Back when she still didn't have all that facial surgery. Do you know the one in space? It was like Leprechaun 5, maybe, in space. Heidi from Home Improvement was in it.
Wow. There was also Leprechaun Back to the Hood or something?
Yep, he went to the Hood twice.
So it was in the Hood and then back to the Hood?
Yep.
Okay. Classic.
You should get them. And Chucky. I think they're rebooting Chucky sometime later. I think that's what they'll have to do. They that series pretty much became a comedy, and then I don't think there was anywhere else to go.
It seems strange they don't really come out with any new horror icons, really.
Well, they try, but...
Who did they... I can't think of one that they tried with.
There's one a few years ago. His name was Chrome Skull. He was in a film called Laid to Rest, and they're kind of trying to set him up as a new horror icon. And then there's another film called Hatchet, which also has a sequel. I forget the guy's name, but he was played by... he was played by Kane Hodder, who played Jason in a few Friday the 13th movies.
Oh, okay.
So, Kevin, did you watch these movies?
I watched Hatchet and a bit of Laid to Rest.
But you're missing out on Leprechaun.
I'm missing out on Leprechaun, I am.
See, to me, the most kind of iconic horror figure recently isn't even like a single person, but it's that, the Scream figure.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's probably the most recent. I mean, when did the first Scream movie come out? That was mid-90s or something?
Yeah. No, I think it was 96. That would be interesting if they maybe not start over the franchise, but if Ghostface actually, became, like a figure like Jason or a Freddy. It just wasn't a person.
It was a ghoul.
Yeah. So it'd step out of that realistic Scream world and go into its own, I'm going to come back for 10 sequels kind of thing. Well, they're up to 4 sequels now, but...
Yeah, it could be good. I mean, this Halloween I'll probably watch the Nightmare on Elm Street remake. I haven't seen that one yet, actually.
Yeah, it looked really good, cinematically. It's actually pretty polished, because the guy who directed it did a bunch of music videos, so I guess that's where that came from. He did good there, but story-wise, I don't know.
So was it an exact copy of the original, or is it different?
There's somewhat of an origin story there. They could have dug deeper. I kind of wanted a whole movie to be the origin story.
You guys ever watched a movie called Trick or Treat?
I've heard about it. I haven't watched it yet.
It's good. It's enjoyable. It was one of those films that sat on a table for ages because no one knew quite how to market it or release it. I think it was finally released a year or two ago.
And they didn't even release it at Halloween, did they?
I don't think so. I think it just came out for a week or something like that. And it's a lot of fun. It's kind of like a modern take on the whole horror anthology kind of thing. It's very entertaining and good. I would recommend it for any Halloween movie watching.
Well, in the last show, we and the previews that we've been posting, we've been talking about this segment that we're going to do called Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. I don't know if that's copyright or not, but we'll go with it. So the three of us have written down the 5 guests that we'd invite to our dinner at our home. They could be living, dead, real, or fictional. and we've kept it entertainment related. So, okay. So yeah, I guess I'll go first with my first guest. I'll open the door here. My first guest, no surprise, would be Ricky Gervais. Anybody else choose him?
No.
Sorry, Ricky. You're only having one meal. He's somewhat of a hero of mine as his stand-up and writing and everything he's done with television. Anything he really says, I agree with, which is not really common with celebrities. But and I really enjoy his non-apologetic style, and he has a lot more to say usually than other people. So, and he's not just funny; he's actually really, really smart. So, that would be my first dinner guest, and unfortunately, I'd probably talk to him more than the other people that I've invited, but that's okay.
Plus, he would probably bring you a copy of one of his shows on DVD as a gift.
Yeah, that'd be sweet. I'd get him to sign it.
Ooh.
Ryan, your first person.
My first pick is fictional, of course, like most of my picks. I chose James Bond, and in brackets, I put the Sean Connery version. Basically because he's awesome, and I don't know, just like that old school kind of, did you ever see that interview Sean Connery had with, who was it? Was it Katie Couric or something?
I think it was Barbara Walters.
Barbara Walters, that was it. And he was no holds barred, and I imagine him as James Bond would be even more of that.
He said it was okay to slap a woman.
She gave him a chance to, like, take that back, and he stood behind it.
He's like, no, I said what I said. I'm James Bond.
I almost picked her as one of my other guests, but in the end, I felt that'd be too much controversy.
So, we meet again, Walters.
Kevin?
My first pick is also fictional, though real in my heart. Han Solo.
Oh, you're such a boner.
Who picks a Star Wars character, honestly?
Ryan picked one.
you so have.
Ryan, who did you pick from Star Wars?
I think Yoda.
Ooh.
We'll come back
because I just think it'd be cool because he's wise and he could do lots of cool party tricks, right? Like levitation things. It'd be a lot of fun.
I hate both of you.
Oh, you love us.
My second guest, Homer Simpson. Probably the best TV character of all time, next to maybe George Costanza. I didn't invite him, though. It'd just be fun to talk to him, I think, during dinner especially, because he'd be eating like he does on TV, which is making those sounds and food not disappearing from his plate. But, just to get inside of his head, which would probably, be two monkeys doing calculus on a chalkboard. But, no, Homer Simpson, yeah, that would be awesome.
My second dinner guest is Rick Deckard from the Blade Runner movie.
Okay, I need an explanation here.
Well, I would just pick his brain about whether he's a replicant or not. Maybe he doesn't know.
So nerdy.
I'll be honest, I think I watched Blade Runner once, and I think I fell asleep during it.
Ooh. Kevin, rebuttal?
No, I did too. I've only watched it once.
You watched it once, and now you're inviting someone from the movie.
Well, you don't have to know these people intimately. I mean, that's the point of the dinner party, to know more about them.
Okay, Ryan.
Come on, Grant.
I'll go next with somebody real. I put Brad Pitt on my list because I've liked a lot of the movies he's been in. And I think there'd just be some cool stories about him on set, and he's my in basically to Hollywood.
No, that'd be good. Of all the Hollywood celebrities out there, he's probably the most genuine seeming because you don't hear a lot about him doing other stuff besides acting. So.
Yeah, I don't have a man crush or anything, but
liar.
Hey.
You'd kiss him, Kevin. Who would you bring?
My third guest is Jack Ryan of Clear and Present Danger, because I've never seen the movie and maybe he could explain it to me.
Your list is very odd. My third person would be I totally did chat on your list. I'm sorry. Rodney Dangerfield. Story goes, I actually visited New York years ago before his passing, and my buddy and I, we went to his club he has there, and it was closed for renovation.
Oh no!
So I don't know. We were hoping, obviously, to see him or meet him or do anything with him, but and then we came home, and not too long later he passed away. So I think this would redeem it if he came back and had dinner with us and told a few jokes and wiggled his tie. And I have his book, his autobiography. I'll put a link up so you can buy it. It's good.
Next on my list, I have Doc Brown, basically so I could travel in time, and I would do exactly what Marty did in Back to the Future 2. I would get that sports almanac. I would be ready.
So you want him to come to dinner, but bring the DeLorean.
Exactly.
Well, how else would he get there?
Yeah. Kevin. All right. So Ryan's got, let me see if I can remember this. I already forgot your first person, Ryan.
I had James Bond, Sean Connery version.
James Bond as Sean Connery as James Bond, Brad Pitt and Doc Brown.
And Yoda.
Okay, Yoda. So, and Kevin, you've got, I'll let you go through that one.
I have Han Solo, Rick Deckard, and Jack Ryan.
And now your fourth.
My fourth is Indiana Jones, because I think him and Han Solo would have a lot to talk about.
That's actually really good. That's good. Well, I've got Ricky, Homer, Rodney, and then my fourth would be, actually, the character from Sling Blade, Carl Childers, played by Billy Bob Thornton. He's actually probably my favorite movie character of all time.
I've never seen Sling Blade. I've just heard, like, the parodies and imitations.
Yeah, I'll do one, but I'll edit it out. Because in the movie, he didn't say much, so I don't. But there seemed to be a lot going on up there, so it'd be nice to have him over for dinner and talk to him and feed him some French fried potatoes.
Oh, you did it.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Well, I was thinking, Kevin, you should maybe invite him to dinner also, so that he could explain what Sling Blade is about.
Yeah,
I'll just invite everyone whose movies I haven't seen. Yeah, I don't want to watch it really, so.
Okay, this is it. Our fifth and finals. Ryan.
My final one, this was a tough one. It was between Batman or Bruce Wayne. There's a total difference here, right?
Yeah.
Because if you invited Bruce Wayne, like, he wouldn't admit to being Batman.
Well,
and, like,
in the end, I invited Bruce Wayne because he's rich. And I can become friends with him, and then my goal would be to work my way in there and learn his Batman secret, and then be a better sidekick than Robin.
Sweet.
This would all happen over dinner.
Yeah. You'd ask him for some crime-fighting tips over dinner, write them down on your napkin, and you'd be good to go.
Yeah, I would be sketching my symbol for whatever my logo is on a cocktail napkin and slide it to him.
He'd nod.
Yeah.
Okay. Kevin, your fifth and final.
My fifth and final guess is Harrison Ford, because he's kind of a badass.
Okay, I'm going to stop right there.
Yes?
You've invited
every Harrison Ford character.
You've invited Han Solo, Indiana Jones, and then just Harrison Ford.
And Rick Deckard and Jack Ryan, who were also played by Harrison Ford.
I think
okay. Look me in the eye and tell me that would not be an interesting dinner party.
Well, mine's not as good as that one. My last guess would probably be Alfred Hitchcock, director of such films as The Birds and Psycho. I just think he's a great storyteller, so over dinner I'd be getting him to tell us some stories. And,
he seems like the type that would hate whatever food you're serving.
Yeah. He never drove. He didn't drive. Like, he had people drive him around.
I'm not surprised.
He's very weird. But, yeah, so those are our... Well, if we had one big dinner, it'd be 15 weird guests. 5 of which would be Harrison Ford.
One side of the table is just Harrison Ford talking to himself.
And Yoda and Han Solo would get along. Like, Homer Simpson would be the only animated character there. I think he'd get along with Carl from Sling Blade.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, the guy who won the comic contest, Dustin, he actually listed his top 5 here. Here we go. Jim Henson, creator of the Muppets.
Mm-hmm.
Now, he'll have to forgive me on the French, but the creator of Cirque du Soleil, Guy Laliberte? Yeah,
Google it.
And, you guys would know this one. Kate Mulgrew.
I know that one.
Captain from Star Trek Voyager. Jim Carrey. That would be fun. And Paige Boy, who's the lead singer of the Ruby Spirits, which is, I had to look it up. It's an indie band from Canada, I think. Dustin, you'll correct me. With another top 5 from Andrew, I'll go over quickly. Tony Montana from Scarface. I guess this is similar to Ryan's in a way. Tyler Durden, played by Brad Pitt. But he'd be in the Tyler Durden character, so he'd probably throw food at you or something. Chris Farley, that would be funny.
Oh, yeah.
John Candy, this guy's got a fetish for the big comedians here. And Jack Nicholson as the Joker.
Ooh.
Well, I think that's all we have for Series 1, 6 episodes. We had laughter, education. Check out the back catalog on cityfilms.com for the entire series. And stay tuned for when Series 2 is happening. And who knows, we might have more people involved. Might be video. We can convince Kevin to put his face on the computer. Well, everybody, thanks for listening. It's been fun. Like I said, check out the back catalog on cityfilms.com. I'm Graham McMorrow. Thank you, and you guys can say bye now.
Bye now.
Say your name first.
Ryan, bye now.
And Kevin?
And I'm Kevin. Goodbye. It's been fun.